Hey teachers, today I want to share with you a little bit about Adobe Express for Education. It's a super awesome program that you can use in your classroom for free. So first you're going to Google Adobe Express for Education and sign in using your school information. Once you open up Adobe Express for Education, your screen will look something like this. The first thing that you want to do is set up classrooms. So you'll go over here and click on Classrooms and then create a class. You can name them whatever you want, and then you can put in the class period and subject and grade level, and then save it. Once you get that created, you can have students join using this class invite link. They can also join via QR code or Google Classroom if you have it. And then once they're in there, you can also click on this if you have students that join your class later and need to get into it. But once you have your students in here, now you will be able to assign them templates and projects or activities within that classroom. After you have your classes set up, you can go over here to activities and look for templates that you would like to assign your students. You can look by subject or grade level. I'm going to look at some of the social studies ones. And let's say that I decide that I want them to try this one. You can get into it and change the template out however you want to change it to make it fit your classroom assignment. And then the other thing that I want to show you that's really cool is that there is a Learn tab over here that students can watch the little video and learn how to do the activity. They can also see little tidbits here about the different tools that they're going to use as they're doing the activity. So that's nice if they forget to do something while they're in here. The other thing here that you need to know about is that they can record themselves, and you go over here to media and go to videos, and they can record themselves and put a video of them talking or giving feedback within their presentation. So they would simply just click on record yourself, and they would choose their settings over here and click start recording. They can record up to 5 minutes per recording, so that's kind of cool. So I'll do a little sample here. Hold on just a second. Once they have it recorded, they're going to press save recording. And you will see that the recording shows up in their presentation. So now I can resize it and I can move it anywhere within this presentation that I want it to be. You can see over here in the directions that it tells the students how to record themselves because that's a part of this activity. They can also add more scenes into this. So if you want them to add in some photos of their, historical event that they're doing, they can go over here and click on photos and they can add in things. So let's see, World War II, say that's what this is from. I want to put in some planes. So I'm going to add in a picture. And you can add it in as a layer. You see that your layers are over here. So every picture that I add in will go over here, and then I can decide whether I want it to be in the front or in the background. You can remove the background, so that's kind of cool, especially if they want to do some kind of collage. There we go. And then you can add in more photos. This is how you would adjust it. You can round the corners, things like that. I'm going to go over here and grab one more picture so that you can see how it works as a layer. So now this layer is above the plane. If I wanted to move it behind the plane, I would just simply move it like that. Whenever they're wanting to edit it, they just highlight it like that and choose it. Let's see what this looks like with the background removed. Oh, that's kind of cool. So then I can have it in here like that. What's really cool about this is they can get super creative and they can add this into their presentation. They can also add audio. There's a bunch of stuff that they can put in here, different text boxes, elements, and they can also use different templates. And then when they want to see their video, they would simply click and then it would play their video as well as go on to the next thing. Now, if you have shared this template with them, then you will be able to see it in the assignments. However, if you haven't shared it, if you haven't set up classes, they can also share it with you via a link here. So once you have the template how you want it and you're ready to share it with students, you can simply go up here to assign, and then you can choose the class. I want to assign it to my first period, and then I would press create link. And it says that it's live for World History Period 1. So let's go back and make sure that it's in there. And if I go to my classrooms, World History Period 1, there it is. So now it's assigned to them. And as they turn it in, you will see it pop up here. You'll also see the progress of student work, which is really cool. I love that you can see that. Now, once I get everybody in here, I can create a gallery of the work. So if I want to share it with my students and have them look at each other's presentations, kind of like a gallery walk, then I can go in here and publish a gallery once everyone has turned in. What that will look like then, let me see if I can show you what that looks like. I don't think it'll create it since I don't have any turned in yet. Oh, wait, there it is. So once I create it, everyone's assignments will go in here and you can add text boxes, you can add files and things like that. But what would be really cool is students can come in here and look at each other's projects. And I think that they can give feedback on each other's projects as they're looking at it. But I'm not positive. You can also publish this gallery and create a link right here. So if you wanted to share it with parents or a class website, then that would be the way to do that. If you are having students do a presentation, definitely have them use Adobe Express for education because they can really up their game when it comes to presentations. So you can click on here in presentations and it will show you different templates that Adobe Express has that students can use. If they want to tell their story, if they want to do different themes, showcase creativity, things like that, explain a concept. There's all kinds of templates in here. So let's say as a student, I get in here and I want to choose this template. You have so many choices with how to do this, and it becomes a really cool presentation tool. This presentation template already has several animations. You see how the different things are popping in, but if students want to add more, they can do that. You would simply click on what you want to add an animation to, and you would go up here to, where is it at? Right here, add animation. And then similar to how you do it in PowerPoint or in Google Slides, you would just click on the animation that you want it to have, and it would add that to your presentation. You also have the Learn option over here that helps students work with the template and gives them reminders of where to click. And in the Media tab, you can add photos, videos, once again, recording yourself if you'd like. You can even animate characters, which is really cool to use, especially if students don't want to have their face shown. And they can add audio where they can just do a record voiceover or even animate a character with their voice. They can come in here and choose which one they want and record it and then insert it into the presentation. When they're choosing their character, before they do the audio, make sure and click on this little toggle right here for enhanced speech. That will help with background noise. So if they're recording this in the classroom where there is background noise, then that will completely take care of it. Once they've recorded it, it may take a minute to get the preview. One thing I forgot to show you is that you can change the background. And if you want it to be a transparent background, what that will do is just put it in your presentation so that you can't see any other background. So that's sometimes pretty cool, depending on what kind of presentation they're doing. You can also upload an image. So if you want to put the character in, Springwood's courtyard or wherever you want to put them, you can put the background there. So for this little animated crab guy, I gave him a transparent background, and now I can simply have him on my presentation and wherever he fits, I'm going to put him right there. And then I'm going to move this over. So you can see that students can really work with this and make it their own and be creative with it. Maybe if I can get the right thing to click, there we go. And then when I press play, it will play little crab guy. That's so cute. I love it. All right. And then if I want to adjust where the crab is and how long he's going to be in there, you would simply go down here to do that. Another neat thing is that you can give this crab guy an animation. So you can have slide in, which is kind of cool. Let's have him drop in. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, or spin in. Having way too much fun with this. Okay. I can also send him out. So we can do it this where he fades out or he drifts out. I'm going to have him spin out. That's kind of cool. Now, if a student wants this page to be a little bit longer and be on the screen a little bit more, you would go down here and you would click Edit Timeline. And it allows students to drag that page out. They should also be able to click on this guy and keep him in there longer. Let's see if that's what this is. Yeah, so if you click on this right here, this is your animation, and this is how long the crab would stay in the page. So now I can do a little preview here. And he stays in there a little bit longer and then goes off the page. When they're ready to go back to their presentation, they would just click on Pages to get back. They can also edit transitions. They can add presenter notes over here if they would like to do that. And they can add in more pages. So let's say that they needed one more page. They would add that in. They can also add just a blank one, or they can get one with a template. Once the student is finished with their presentation, they can present it in Adobe Express for Education by doing that here, or they can share a link just like, and if this was a template that you shared with your class, then it would already be in there as something that they are working on. That's just a snippet of what Adobe Express for Education has, but there is so much more. If you would like to learn more, you can also go within Adobe Express for Education, and there are several teacher tools that you can look at to enhance what you know about the program and student activities, how to edit, things like that. As always, if you're going to use this with your classroom and you'd like some extra help doing so, let me know and I will schedule some time to come in and help you. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.